'cause I wanna know what it's like to be free, what it's like to be fearless. How can I get away from all of this madness? I don't wanna care.
We have people. Hey guys, it's been so long since I've done a live. I forgot how to do it. So I use Instagram every day of the week for several hours. That's an understatement. And I've been learning so many new tricks with it, and yet I forgot how to go live. I think the last time I went live was the day Over Before It's Begun was released, so July 30th. And I said that I would do it more often, but I suppose I always feel like I have to have a bigger purpose for going live. But then, you know, you see people going live for any other reason. You don't have to release a record to do it. But for me, at least, I do it when I feel like, you know, I have something to say or something that I want to talk about. Lee, I know I'm 10 minutes late. That's the excuse right there. The first excuse was that I was going to go live on my iPad because I didn't want to lose the chill music to keep me in a good mood. Because I thought when I went live on the phone that it would shut off the music, but it didn't. So at least not for me. I can still hear it on my Bluetooth speaker here. Thank you, Lee, and thank you for all your input since Over Before It's Begun and with Destination Anywhere. You know, your ears can get really fatigued by listening to mixes, and for me at least, you know, I listened to so many mixes of the last two singles that you almost don't know what's good anymore. So thank you for being my second set of ears. You know, and it's good to have people around you that have pop sensibilities and different perspectives on things, to keep things fresh. And I've got a really good crew around me, and I think it's funny that the friends that I've made over the years, online even, through being fans of other music and other acts, it's been so valuable to me to keep those friendships and connections. I think it's like we said recently, Lee, it's nearly like modern pen pals. You know, it's like these little mini fan clubs online that you can have connections with somebody that you've never met through music. And I think, like, I've done that for years and years, since my teenage years, but I think probably now more people are doing it than ever because we're trapped, we're at home, I suppose our escapism right now is music and film, and you know, obviously music has been incredible this year. There's been some amazing releases, and we've been really lucky, we've been really spoiled, and I think this fourth quarter is going to be equally great, the last couple of months of it anyway. I never thought I would be releasing something at this point in the year, because I always kind of was, you know, I always felt like it was a little bit commercial suicide, because trying to get coverage when everyone's releasing stuff is really difficult. But when you're at this particular level, there's still millions of people at this level, you know, at this low tier, still fighting for coverage on the blogs, and you know, it is tough. But to be honest with you, I haven't found releasing in November this time any more difficult than releasing in July. Eventually, I think the game has changed a little bit. I don't think the fourth quarter is what it used to be. Hi Clara, thanks for coming in. And again, I want to thank Clara for similar reasons. We do know each other in real life, but she's been invaluable just for bouncing ideas off, and particularly with social media, with the music, but even more so with social media, in the sense that she's in the same game as me, and then so many others as well. You've got your fingers in all the pies, but it's really helpful to say, what do you think that looks like? And you know, I think my social media game is getting a little bit better each single that I go through. Each campaign you learn a little bit more. Like I was saying earlier today, when I look back at Older 20, which was February this year, just before all this went off in the world, you know, my campaign for that was completely unplanned. It was like I'd go from day to day getting bits of coverage and kind of going, right, I'll put that up. but then when, I suppose, it turned a bit of a corner after the virus, when I had a lot of time without working the couple of jobs that I have, and I was able to do the reissues and start to look at my approach of how I get my music out there and how I promote my music. And that process, I think, going through the reissues helped me with Over Before It's Begun. But I'm going a little bit off track here to talk about Destination Anywhere, and I want to kind of start at the beginning because it's a good place to start. And the beginning is quite a long time ago. This song is really old, and it started out. My friend Emma O'Donnell at the time, now Dunn, wrote this chorus, and she would often send me song lyrics and poems as well. And generally speaking, I would never have been particularly comfortable singing someone else's lyrics, and I never have. So Destination Anywhere is the first time where I've collaborated on lyrics. But basically, she sent me the chorus across. I think it was a full chorus, and I obviously just connected with the message and the meaning behind it and the mood of it. You know, there was no melody there, but straight away the two verses came, and the What If I Don't Have a Plan, the sort of mid-8 section. It was a very quick write, and you know, it was for my first album at the time. And so the first recording of this track happened in Amsterdam with Murad Bouchaba, who wanted to work with me when I was about halfway through recording my album here in Dublin, and I was kind of blown through my budget very quickly. Producers are expensive here in Ireland, the good ones, and so I decided let's go with it. And he had kind of a urban Moroccan kind of Eastern vibe, which was totally not what I was into at the time, but you know, he brought those flavors to the table, and it was something different for me and something different for the album. But when I was doing the reissues earlier this year, I was hearing this song and I was saying, you know, I really think this was a mistake not having this as a single at some point. The same way with Over, where I thought I didn't love the production on the original version of that. So 2020 has been in some ways, I won't say rectifying mistakes, but kind of revisiting music that never got a chance to, revisiting songs that never got a chance to shine the first time around. You know, and to most people that follow me now, these would be completely new songs. And so the difference with Destination Anywhere, we did go and I re-recorded the vocal. I re-recorded the vocal with Gavin Sheridan, who is my guitarist from my live band, and he offered very generously to record the vocals in his home studio. I think we had just come out of our first lockdown at that point here in Ireland, and so we got the vocals done in literally, God, like it was literally about, I'd say, an hour, and we did two tracks that day actually, and it was very relaxed, very chill. Because I know Gavin well, I was very comfortable, and you know, I was very happy to be working with him in a new context as well. So we got the vocals down and then sent them across to Skynum GT, aka Jordan Artiga, for those of you who don't know. Jordan's in here. What's up, Jordan? Send you a wave. And Jordan worked his magic, backpedal a little bit. I already had the instrumental from Jordan. We had said we were done after Over, sort of, at least for the moment. And then I said, I've been listening to this kind of chill, like late night disco vibe. I was listening to The Weeknd's album After Hours and Jessie Ware's album What's Your Pleasure, and I knew that wasn't really Jordan's taste, but I felt that we had covered a lot of bases of what he does with the EDM of Older and the sort of chill, a beat that was a middle ground on Over Before It's Begun. It was kind of a bit of both of us. Whereas our first instant working together on Real Good Fight was very tropical, which was very his style more than mine. So I kind of thought, let's bookend this and me try to bring in my production influences this time. So he knocked together the demo in, I'd say, less than an hour again. So this was a very quick song initially, and he really surprised me because, you know, not that he didn't previously follow influences, but normally he gravitates back towards his own hallmark sound. But this time he was able to, it was like he got inside my head, and I was kind of, I think I was like even sending these ideas of like percussion that I liked and really, really specific stuff, synths that I liked. And, he knows that I'm incredibly detail oriented and really fussy about, like, I'll hear one sound in the mix that I absolutely hate, and it can be at the very bottom of the mix, and this has happened with 2 or 3 producers, and they'll be like, I don't know which one you're talking about, I can barely hear it, it's not there. And I'll always hear it because I'm just that anal about every element of my track, even if nobody else can hear it. But yeah, very happy with this single. Where was I? We did the demo, and then actually it started to alter and change a little bit, and I was going off it a little bit. I was kind of saying, I prefer the demo, so we had to again strip it back and try and get it back to what it was on day one. So what you hear now on the single is basically how it was within the first hour of being made, with a vocal thrown on it that was done in less than an hour as well. But I have to thank Garrett Shortland, my good friend, who again I met through being fans of other acts online, and he sort of glossed up the vocals and gave the chorus that really haunting kind of vocoder feel that it has. And once I heard that, I was like, that has to be it, because I was originally thinking of re-recording vocals somewhere else, and it was a long process, but we got there in the end, and thanks to everybody involved. So once we had the track, then it was about getting this out there, and then obviously we were going back into another lockdown, and it was kind of a rush of like, we better get images, we better get video done, and it was literally a case of we took the photos. I went to Darius Photos, who I'd never worked with before, and we ran around Dublin, sort of Dublin Tree area, which is where I'm originally from, near Crow Park and that sort of area, and we took some shots that kind of, I felt like, had the grit of sort of old Dublin. A lot of people shoot, and I've shot there as well before, a lot of people shoot in kind of Docklands and really glossy New Dublin, sort of gentrified Dublin areas, and I wanted to get away from that and go back to something a little bit more gritty. So we did that. You've seen those photos. I think the shots turned out really well. We'll definitely work together again. And then a couple of weeks later, eventually I was able to get the green light for doing the video with Matt and Black, which was not his fault at all. It was totally again down to lockdowns. So we were able to, just the two of us, be on set, be distanced, and be safe, and in a remote location in Dublin. And we were originally going to do 2 days, 2 locations, but just given the circumstances, it was like, get in, get the footage, get out. And yeah, I think, look, for the amount of time that we spent on it, I'm very happy with the outcome. I think Matt Black is a very talented video director, and after what he did with Over, I had to work with him again, so I'm really happy that I got that opportunity to do it for the last Skynum GT collaboration, because it just all syncs together nicely, I think. The aesthetics, this is something I kind of mentioned earlier in the week. I wouldn't say controversially, but I think somebody did take to be a little bit controversial. I mentioned how I wasn't wearing the stereotypical Irish singer-songwriter outfit in the video. And what I meant really by that was, if you look at a lot of, certainly for me, when I go through Instagram and I see people who have sponsored posts, a lot of the Irish acts that have a bit of a budget, male solo acts, or that are represented, be it by a management or that are on a label, there is a sense that they're all operating from the same handbook, and it's kind of a Ed Sheeran meets Dermot Kennedy meets Hozier, musically and aesthetically. And for me, that doesn't inspire me or influence me at all. And that's all I was saying, was that I think more influenced by something a little bit glossier, a bit more pop, even urban, like, all of the streetwear that comes from the urban side of things, and then retro stuff as well, so 80s and 90s. So I'm just informed by a completely different set of influences, and like, you know, I totally respect what those guys do, but I think if I tried to do it and hop on that bandwagon just to be liked by the general public, because that's sort of easily digestible and it's familiar, it wouldn't feel authentic and it would feel forced, and I think you'd see right through it. I'm feeling like the last two singles and the last two videos and the sets of photos, they just feel like I finally kind of found who I am as a recording artist, and, you know, visually as well. So that was long-winded, but, you know, it's something that kind of, I think it's important. Like, the acts that I follow, I'm equally intrigued by how they roll out their campaigns on social media, you know, the styling, the colors they use, you know, it's a 360 situation. And then in a live show scenario, that it isn't just like, you know, I like a country show or like an unplugged show as much as the next person, but I think ultimately to go to a show that's a production and that has a lot going on, even if it's on a smaller scale, that's more interesting to me. And I think that's why I've kind of, in the last year and a half, gravitated more towards making EDM and electronically driven pop music, because I'm just interested in all that comes with that. Yeah, we got some really good reviews came in today. So some early reviews for Transcendence, the EP, and for Destination Anywhere. So Transcendence is out next Friday, and it is kind of covering the entire collaboration with Skynum GT. So it's got the 4 singles, an intro, an outro, and a really nice interlude in the middle. So it's all linked together. But yeah, some really nice reviews from Culture Fix, from About the Noise, from Kozak Demars magazine as well. And yeah, they're just incredible. I couldn't have asked for more, and I think there's quite a few more I reckon on the way. So I'm excited to see what people think, you know, about these songs, particularly Destination Anywhere, because of the fact that I had quite a bit more input in the production, and you know, I think I'm interested to see, because each single has been a slight progression or has deviated a little bit sonically. I'm interested to see what people think this time. So the EP is out next Friday, and it will that will wrap up our collaboration. That is it now. I'm moving on to something new in the new year. It's been incredible, but you know, the way I always feel about collaborating with producers and other artists is that you have to sort of know when you've kind of rinsed it, and we didn't want to get to that point where it was becoming stale. We've challenged each other a little bit. We've helped each other grow. The fact that we worked together over the course of 4 singles and an EP is way more than we intended in the first place. For those of you who don't know by now, even though I constantly mention it, Jordan, Skynum GT won the Real Good Fight remix competition last summer that I ran on Instagram, and that's how we met and ended up working together. So if any of you guys know underground producers who want to get their music out there, they can enter my current remix competition, which is my first since last summer, and it's right there on my Instagram page. Because it you know, you do work with like people who start out as remixers, you end up working with them as engineers and producers, and you know, you then keep a pool of producers and remixes that you will go back to for various different things. Like, as I said, Garrett Shortland did the vocal production on Destination Anywhere, and he is producing the next single, which is coming in the new year. So the track is, I'm not going to say too much because we're not there yet, but it continues in the direction of the 90s and the electronically charged vibe, but it just takes it up a notch. It's like EDM on steroids. It's like, and then it's like injected with 90s. It's fueled, and yeah, I think it will surprise people. But then again, it's like every track that I've done hasn't really connected with the last one in terms of sound. There is always progression. So you know, we started out doing tropical stuff, and then we did more straight EDM, and then we went for a beat to chill. Like, I get bored. I don't want to rinse and repeat. So Jordan definitely stepped up to the plate with this mix for Destination Anywhere. It was what I was looking for, and it's not what I was expecting from him, so I'm delighted with it. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to the new year, getting this EP out, hearing the reaction. Early reviews have been great, and then moving on to make more new music in the new year. I've done 8 singles now since I came back. I was just looking at that the other day when I was updating my site. So when I came back March 2018, what You Found Me, obviously making country records for that whole year, and then slowly transitioned with Real Good Fight in 2019. I don't think I expected to be doing it for 3 years. I came back to release like No Second Chances. I thought, I can't leave that song lying around and never let it see the light of day, and I'm glad. I think it's important that I got it out there. But once I did, I caught the bug again, and things went better than they ever had previously with a label, or with people working with me on campaigns. It's a strange thing to be doing it completely by yourself, but like I said earlier, I have a great pool of friends online that I can bounce ideas off, and I'm lucky in that respect. I never kind of feel lonely with it. I'm constantly sending stuff to friends and getting opinions and integrating them, and whether it's about social media or the music itself or the visuals, so that's important. What am I getting from Santa, Keith? I don't know, you tell me. What are you getting me? I'm getting a weight vest for the gym. I was scrolling through Amazon 2 days ago looking at them, and I didn't realise that they weren't weight, that you have to buy the actual like weights to put in them. You can put sandbags in them, or you can put like little mini steel weights. It's got I think 6 pockets, and then another 12 on the back. So I'm getting that, and hopefully some more crafted bling. That's about it. So yeah, I'm pretty much I'm going to wrap it up there. I think I've rambled on for long enough. You can stream Destination Anywhere now. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, wherever you like to get your music. And you can download it. If you're going to download it, look, get it on iTunes, get it on Amazon, whatever you want. But my recommendation is go to Bandcamp. They've been really supportive throughout the virus through this year, and they have, they've given back a lot to artists, and they cut their end of the royalties. So I'd say go there. And also, for the second reason, they offer higher quality downloads, so they're basically lossless quality. So you can download a WAV, an MP3, and it's yours forever. You don't it doesn't disappear when your streaming contract goes out. So yeah, so take a listen, let me know what you think. The instrumental I've included again as well on this one. I've done that with every single since 2018, since I did the reissues. It's really, some people questioned it and said that's a bit weird. Not many people do that, but I started out doing it because when you're submitting tracks for placement in the likes of TV, they always ask you for the instrumental as well, so that they can break it up and play bits of the instrumental where they need to, and then drop in your vocal. Started out that way, and then it just got, actually, when I started making more chilled EDM, I was like, oh, this actually sounds really nice without a vocal. Let's have it. So yeah, it's 2 tracks. I think it's 99 cents if you download it, so it's not bad. Right, so I'm gonna head off, have a little celebratory drink for the good reviews and the release. I can't relax quite yet. There is still quite a bit to be done, but next week is going to be even busier with the EP, and I just have planned today. I'm in the process of planning what we're going to do live on Instagram next week. I won't be on my own because that'd be boring, because I've already talked about everything. But I'm going to do something with a good friend of mine who's in the industry, who interviewed me for a radio last week. You haven't heard it yet, so you won't be able to guess who it is. But we're going to try and create a little experience, a listening experience, and have a good chat. We always have lots of banter, so So yeah, stay tuned to Instagram during the week. We'll announce it as soon as we know the details. And keep your diaries free for next Friday night. Not that anybody's going anywhere anyway. Alright guys, talk to you soon. Thanks for checking in, yeah?